All right, my friend, hello to you. It's day 22 in our 40-day walk through Abraham's life of faith, looking for clues about what it means to have faith and friendship with God, even if you are one of God's messed up friends, imperfect friends like Abraham. And we do have a great one ahead of us today. It's Genesis 18:22 through 23 here on day 22. And what we're seeing here today, we got some really intriguing moments. For starters, we're going to see this is the second time in our walk with Abraham where the Creator God decides it's time to pay a city a visit. Remember the first time? How did that one go? And then today, in the conversation around that visit he's going to make to Sodom, we get some great perspective, little window into prayer and the factors behind how God decides to directly intervene in human affairs. Yeah, all of that plus it's just a kind of a fun and personality-filled episode today. So I encourage you, go ahead and take a look for yourself. If you haven't already, go ahead and grab your reading guide and take a look at today's reading, Genesis 18:22 through 33. Got it set up for you there. Then I'll come back and share my green, yellow, reds for today as I go ahead and read now too. So for now, go ahead, hit pause. All right, my friend, welcome back. You had a chance to read. How about it? Isn't this a fun story? It's got a rhythm to it. You've got this haggling, I come myself from a long line of hagglers. And so this feels to me like what I remember standing next to my grandmother at a flea market as she's trying to wear down somebody on something she wants to take home and get the price down to a price point she wants to pay, right? Got that feeling to it. It's got a little wheeler dealer to it. But then beneath the surface, it's got some real depth to it. It's one of these amazing moments in the Bible that show us what prayer is like, and even behind the scenes a little bit of how God decides when it's time to directly intervene in what's happening. God's always present. He's always working. He's always intervening. A lot of times he uses indirect means to do that, but there are times when he steps in on the ground, boots on the ground, if you will, for himself and does what we often call an act of God, right? And so we're seeing that today. There's plenty to think about and talk about. But for now, let's talk about our green, yellow, reds, all right? By the way, when we look at green, yellow, reds, remember what we're doing here. It's not just looking for interesting things. It's trying to bring yourself into the conversation, your own reaction. You're bringing yourself to the table for this interaction with God through his incredible word, all right? So when you highlight something green, it simply means it inspires me. When you highlight something yellow, it means it puzzles me. And when you highlight something red, it means it bothers me, all right? So with that in mind, let's take a look. Green, yellow, red. And today I think I see a yellow here that I want to highlight first of all. Yellow. In this episode, we have an interwoven, complicated interplay between the concepts of justice and mercy happening today, if you look under the hood a little bit. And so for me, I'm highlighting this. What Abraham says to God, surely you wouldn't do such a thing as destroying the righteous along with the wicked. And then he goes on to say, should not the judge of all the earth do what's right? Which, of course, is a kind of a rhetorical question because absolutely he should do what's right. And then Abraham implies here that it would be the wrong thing to do to sweep away both the righteous and the wicked. That's the sense of justice, right? People should get what their own actions deserve, right? That's kind of that's justice, all right? And we'll get more into, we should get curious about what these words mean here. What is, when Abraham says righteous, What's he mean by that? And wicked, what does he mean by that? The digging deeper insights for today talk about those. But what's interesting here that I'm looking at this and I realize Abraham is appealing to God's justice, right? Like don't you can't be a just judge and sweepingly carry or decree something that affects everyone, not rather than individuals being appraised by their own actions, right? Like justice demands that people should get what they deserve, right? It's kind of like the idea of justice. But then what's curious about it is what Abraham actually asks God for is not justice, it's mercy, right? Justice is everyone gets what they deserve. But then mercy is not getting what you deserve. And if you look at what, well, let me show you what I mean. Is I show you my green highlight for today, and it's because it's this honestly incredible, very simple but very powerful statement of God's mercy, and it's what Abraham's really asking God for is not his justice but his mercy, and it's this moment right here. He says, Abraham says, Lord, please don't be angry with me if I speak one more time, right? At the end of all the haggling and dickering down from 50 to just 10 righteous people in Sodom, right? Suppose there's only 10 found there. And it says, and the Lord replied, then I will not destroy it for the sake of the 10. And here's this right here, this line, for the sake of the 10. You realize what's happening here? This is mercy, right? Justice would be the 10 righteous people, the 10 people that are right with God and operating according to God's standards, right? If he finds 10 of those 10 people should be the ones who are not judged, and everyone else in the city should be. That would be justice, right? But what Abraham's asking for is mercy. If you find 10 righteous people in this city, show mercy to the whole city. Everyone doesn't get what they deserve because even if it were down to just 10 people who deserved to live, to be rescued, right? Does that make sense? And I just love that because what this does here is, well, the Lord agrees to it. And that shows me right there. This is the heart of God right here. He just being a just judge is part and parcel with who he is. It's what he does is to maintain justice. He would not be right if he did not do that. And as Abraham pointed out here above, he should do what is right because he is the judge of all the earth, right? So he is bound by his character and his nature to bring justice. We'll talk again more about that in the insights for today, but that's who he is. But he is also this God who wants to show mercy, down to the point where Abraham, is haggling with God about this, but God's readily agreeing to it. It's not twisting God's arm, right? It's down to the point where just a few people in Sodom who are righteous will result in the entire city experiencing the God's grace, giving them more time to become people who are not rebels, but who are friends of his, aligned with what he wants to see happen, right? That's mercy. And that's why I've highlighted it green. I love that. God's ready and willing to show mercy, not giving everybody what they deserve, but staying his hand, showing grace up to a point, right? And that's what this conversation with Abraham is about today, right? So there's my green, yellow, reds. Again, plenty to talk about. This is rich and fun to read. So I hope you dive into it and enjoy. Find your own green, yellow, reds. No reds for me today, but maybe you found something. Drop it into our conversation there on our Facebook page. And then at the end of the day, circle back here, scan the QR code, and we'll have more conversation and a few further insights about today. So enjoy, and I'll see you soon.